Stand behind me, the single dad whispered, his voice steady even though his hands were shaking, and that was the moment the red and blue lights washed over the peeling walls and the heavy boots thundered up the stairwell. If you're still watching at the end of this story, you'll understand why courage doesn't always shout, sometimes it simply stands. Before we go any further, if stories that hit the heart matter to you, tap like, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us to the very last second, because what happened next changed every life in that room. Ethan Cole had learned how to sound calm for his daughter, Lily, even when the world felt like it was closing in. 7 years earlier, he'd learned how to breathe through pain in places most people never see, but tonight he needed a different kind of strength. Lily was 6, all knees and elbows and courage borrowed from bedtime stories, clutching her worn stuffed rabbit like it was armor. The apartment smelled of burnt toast and cheap coffee, the kind of place where neighbors rarely learned your name and sirens were background noise. When the pounding started at the door, sharp, commanding, unmistakable, Ethan didn't panic. He stepped between Lily and the door, lowered himself to her eye level, and said the words that would echo long after the walls stopped shaking, "Stand behind me." The pounding became a crash. Wood splintered. A voice boomed through a megaphone, precise and cold, ordering compliance, warning of consequences. Lily's eyes went wide, her breath hitching as shadows moved beneath the doorframe. Ethan wrapped an arm around her shoulders and felt the familiar calculus of fear and responsibility tighten his chest. He wasn't supposed to be here. That was the cruel irony. He had come to fix a heater for a neighbor who never came home, stayed because Lily was sick, and now the wrong address had become the worst address. Outside, a SWAT team stacked up, rifles raised, black helmets swallowing faces until they looked like something out of Lily's nightmares. As the door finally gave way, the room filled with noise and motion, shouts, boots, beams of light slicing through dust. Ethan raised his hands slowly, carefully, like he was lifting something fragile. "There's a child," he said, clear and loud, his body still blocking Lily. "She's scared. I'm not armed." A laser dot danced on his chest, and he focused on breathing, on not letting Lily feel his heart hammering. The men and women in black moved with terrifying precision, sweeping corners, calling out commands, but something shifted when the commander stepped in. The commander's name was Marcus Hale, and he had seen 1,000 rooms like this, each one holding its own version of chaos. He saw the man with his hands up, the child behind him, the way the man didn't flinch when a rifle barrel edged closer, only adjusted his stance to shield the little girl more completely. Hale had learned to read posture, to measure threat in the space between breaths. He raised a fist, halting the advance. "Easy," he said. "Sir, keep your hands where I can see them." "What's your name?" "Ethan," he answered. "This is my daughter, Lily." "Please," his voice broke despite himself, and he swallowed it down. "Please don't yell at her." Hale's eyes flicked to Lily, to the rabbit clutched tight, to the way her chin trembled, but she stayed behind her father just like he'd told her. The team finished clearing the apartment. No weapons, no contraband, no suspect. The radio crackled with confusion. Wrong unit, wrong floor, wrong door. The target was 2 floors up, a violent offender with a warrant thick as a phone book. The mistake hung in the air like smoke. Hale lowered his weapon. He stepped closer, slow and deliberate, so as not to spook the child. "Lily," he said gently, removing his helmet so she could see a human face. "You're safe. You did a brave thing listening to your dad." Lily peeked around Ethan's leg, eyes darting, then nodded once, fiercely, like bravery was a switch she could flip if she tried hard enough. As the team backed off, Hale noticed the tattoo on Ethan's forearm when he lowered his hands, a simple set of coordinates, inked with the kind of precision you only see in military hands. Hale's breath caught. He knew those numbers. He knew that place. Sand and smoke in a night when the sky had burned. He stared, then looked at Ethan's face, searching, and something clicked into place like a lock finding its key. "Cole," Hale said quietly. "Ethan Cole." Ethan froze. He hadn't heard that tone in years. He turned his arm slightly, the tattoo fully visible now, a memorial to men who didn't make it home. "Yes," he said. "Do I know you?"